somebody responded gracefully, said, "Hey, Rudy, why don't you come down to this pressure washing convention in Kima? We're having it in about 3 weeks." And it's like, convention? Pressure washing? It made me realize, man, I am way under equipped. How many millions of other people in this world, when you're driving around, look at them, they're all going to the same crap.
Hey guys, welcome back to Savage Systems podcast number 2 in the books. So really excited, guys. I have Mr. Rudy Colunga from Spring, Texas. Super excited to have Mr. Rudy on the podcast, guys. He's got a lot of really good information. Hey, if you're in and around the Houston area, guys, we're going to drop his information towards the end of the podcast and all that stuff. But man, we're just going to be just kind of BSing and having some fun, asking some questions, learning about his story, how he got started in business. So you guys tune in. I'm super excited to introduce Mr. Rudy. Rudy, tell us just a little bit about yourself. Start off, baby.
Rudy, I own RC Pressure Washing TX here in Spring, Texas. We handle residential and commercial pressure washing, soft washing, whether it's a driveway, a 2,000 square foot house, a 5,000 square foot mansion, pool decks, anything residential. And then for the commercial, we've done parking lots, hotels up to 5 stories, parking garages, done some industrial equipment. But our forte right now that we're working on is buildings. So we have
Nice.
we got a building hotel coming up in Sugarland. So that's a little southwest Houston. It's about an hour from here. But when they're large jobs, and especially for referrals from other hotel jobs that we've done, we're definitely going to take care of it.
For sure. Man, that's cool. Rudy, again, we appreciate you taking the time. Come on the podcast. Guys, we're going to be talking to Rudy. He walked away from the oil field, completely started over, built a sustainable pressure washing business. And he serves both, as you can tell, he serves both homeowners and business owners. And so we're going to be talking about like reinvention, time management, leadership, communication, building a business that gives your life back. So, man, tell us a little bit about, how long you're in the oil field. Like, obviously, just before the pressure washing, what was your life like?
Oof. I was in the oil field for 16 years. I was 22 years old at the same company for the entire time. So I made it through layoff after layoff after layoff. I remember during 08 crisis, they were pulling groups of people into offices, and we knew it was HR was coming in and just letting people go, 24 at a time. So, but I made it through. So I worked in the warehouse. I worked in sales. I worked as a technician for the last 11 years of it. I was instrumentation tech. I broke out in East Texas and over in Nacogdoches, Lufkin area, and just spent 11 days on, 3 days off, working 18-hour days. And after that, I went international. International was a whole different. Some days it was back. Some days it was those 18-hour days, 24-hour days. Just, but I was a technician, right? So I wasn't out there roughnecking it, right? Now we all got the oil base on us, and we all got dirty, and we all, were there. But I had it pretty lax. I ain't gonna lie. It was just long days of troubleshooting stuff.
Oh yeah, where's some cool? You say international, like where's some places that you got to go?
List them off real quick.
You got a
Colombia,
list.
Venezuela, Argentina, Mexico, offshore, Dubai, Malaysia, Kazakhstan,
Dude, you've been
Australia,
all over.
Papua New Guinea.
You've been all over.
Well, I didn't get to go to Africa. They didn't let me go there. And that was
Oh, that's cool though, man. Now, were you married with? Do you have kids? Like, tell us about that.
I was married twice. All not easy marriages.
Of course,
family life. So when I was international, I was with my first wife,
mm-hmm.
and Had two beautiful children with her. They are now 16 and 13. So, but yeah, it was good. Life was great. I was traveling the world making money. Wife didn't work, spending my money,
Yeah, right.
but she took care of the household, and the kids were well taken care of, and
That's good,
everything that
man.
you're supposed to do.
Yeah, of course. That's it's really cool that you got to travel around and obviously, the wife got to kind of do her thing and raise the kids and all that stuff, which is great. Like tell us a little about, kind of fast forward just a little bit is like kind of tell us about like when did you decide to make this change? You're like, you know what? I've done it for 16 years. Like what's going through your mind?
It wasn't really a decision to change. It was, so we'll fast forward. First divorce happened, got married again, and the second divorce was happening. So
Hmm.
I got let go from the oil field, and I was like, man, I saw a YouTube video. Some guy said I can make $500 on a weekend, and I was like, I'll do a side hustle. All right, bought $1,000 pressure washer, a $600 surface cleaner, and a couple extra things. I'm making it simple, but
Yeah,
it made it seem so simple, right?
for sure. Now, how'd you get
And
your like very first customer? You bought the equipment. Did you even like kind of walk us through
my
that?
very first customer was my very first realization that I was
That you were what?
I it was my very first realization that I was dumb.
I get it. I get it.
uh,
I think we all feel that way when we're first like, oh my gosh.
I posted on Facebook, hey friends, I'm starting a pressure washing, side hustle. And one of my friends was like, well, hey, how much to get this concrete off? We just poured a piece of a driveway. And I'm like, man, I don't even know how to get concrete like splatter, right? So I posted on a Facebook page that was called Pressure Washing Pricing Help or something like that. So I was like, well, hey, how much would y'all charge for this splatter piece? And I was like, I was thinking of charging about $75 or something ridiculously dumb. And somebody responded gracefully, said, hey, Rudy, why don't you come down to this pressure washing convention in Kima we're having in about 3 weeks? And I was like, convention? Pressure washing? It's unheard of, right? And it was basically a trade show, but they were doing trainings and trying to sell their amazing systems. And
Of course.
it made me realize, man, I am way under equipped. You know, um, I don't know what I'm doing, but I traveled around the world with the Leatherman fixing drilling rigs sometimes. So I could do what they're doing is what I told myself.
Of course.
And there was a guy there named Dennis Peppers. He lives in Conroe, and I was like, hey, I live up in Spring. Do you think you could help me out? And he's like, look, man, I've helped a lot of people in my day, and every one of them have quit. I don't really want to help no one, but if you promise me you'll stick with it, I'll help you out. It's like go buy yourself a downstream injector and bypass, and you use some SH, and basically, gave me a very little understanding. He's like, but if you really want to learn more, and you're really gonna stick with it, come to my house in Connor. I'll show you my whole system. I said, okay.
Wow.
So I stayed at the thing and I'm watching and the whole he wasn't even part of it. He was just there just like me, another pressure washing company supporting the local industry, right? And yeah, it's
Man, I'm sure that
that's
gave
how
you
I got
just
my
like
start.
a boost of confidence. You're like, cool, I get to see all the insides of this and see how it works. And like,
Yeah.
I bet you were just a sponge right there. You're like, okay.
Man, when I try something, I just dive in,
Yeah.
right? I recently joined a Toastmasters like public speak group, and the first day I walked in, they were like, "Hey, do you want to?" I was like, "Yeah, okay." Um, I'm not the best public speaker, but I've been practicing for the past year and a half. I'm a president of a networking group. So speaking in front of people has gotten a little bit more comfortable.
Dude, good for you. That's really good. It's I was kind of the same way, man. It's like you just got to dive in and who wants to do this? And I'm like, I really don't want to do it. Just all right, pick me. And just
Not
let's get it.
me, not
Let's rip,
me.
yeah, let's rip the band-aid off, man. Let's just get this over with. It's something I probably need to get good at. Let's just do it.
So that's
Man, so like
how it started.
what were some of the first months like? Were you doing this just as a side hustle or did you just go all in?
So when I when I had met him that day I went to the convention,
Mm-hmm.
I had already created my LLC. I mean, got a CRM, like everything. That got a website started. I bought the domain, right? So I was doing everything I should have, but then when I realized, like, okay, I got out of the oil field. I wasn't really looking for a job, but I realized, okay, I'll find a job where I could do this and kind of work from home. So I was like a project manager for a remodeling company.
Mm-hmm.
So it gave me the freedom to take on side jobs and schedule, but I was making maybe 1,000 a month on the pressure washing, which is pocket money,
Yeah.
but it was good enough.
I'll
And
give you
then
one trip, maybe two trips to Costco.
yeah, so and then when I had enough money through some other ventures to finally buy a full pressure washing trailer and a $5,000 pressure washer and the whole setup, you know, it's a good 14,000 or $15,000 investment. It
Yeah.
was,
How long did it take
oof,
you to be able to like, all right, I'm gonna dive into this hardcore? Like you said, you learned from the guy. You're like, okay, I need to upgrade my equipment, but I still need to continue. You're still working your full-time job. What's that timeline like to where you're like, all right, let's buy the $14,000 trailer and let's just go hammer
yeah.
it.
So February of 2022 is when I started all of it. And then November of that year, Thanksgiving. So shoot, it's been 3 years now, is
Yeah.
when I went full on. Um,
Nice.
I got a job with a friend of mine. Basically, he's like, "Hey, if you buy your trailer, we can do this job together." He had the same equipment, a little bit better than I did. We
Yeah.
actually met at that same convention. His first time and my first time, literally going for information. So he
Yeah.
got that contract out in Galveston, and there was a man lift. We had to use, we are 60 feet up in the air. And I've been using man lifts in the oil field for years. So
Of
the
course.
only difference is here, there was flat surface. We weren't, running around drilling rig sites on, dirt and rock and caliche. So this was flat surface. I'm comfortable on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's great.
So
Now, how hard was it for you to kind of pivot from, just the oil field or let's just say corporate, corporate America to like that entrepreneurship where obviously you'd built your credibility up massively with lots of different skills in the oil field. And, like you said, you did the dirty work. And then, towards the end, you were kind of like more of a manager and obviously did some stuff. But what was that, how hard was it hard for you to kind of just make that pivot and be like, all right, I'm my own boss now. I got to be responsible for myself. Like, tell us a little bit about that.
it's really managing your time, and
So
the
time
calendars
management,
help.
making
Time
sure that you're
management
like
in general,
locked
yeah.
in.
Because if we're not out there looking for these commercial jobs, then all the residential jobs are going to come. You know what I mean?
Right.
Either through Google or through my networking. Even the commercial jobs come, sometimes organic. But and that's what I've been doing for the past 2 years, really. And I've been maintaining, but I'm tired of maintaining. Right. So it's been for the past couple months now, a lot of no's. But when that yes comes, it's like, okay, now I'm good for next month. I'm
Right.
good for this month. You know. and it's a huge uncertainty, you know. Now that's another scary part, but it'd be a lot more uncertainty if I was sitting right over there on the couch watching that TV instead of sitting at the computer here, just sitting. But
Of course.
I'm looking for work, or I'm doing actively on social media, or taking part in amazing things like this.
Now, you said you have a CRM set up. You said you set that up like early on. That was one of your first things. How important is it to have a CRM?
I'm gonna tell you my story with my CRM. I've had go high level 3 times. Okay. The first time, was an amazing guy up in Missouri. Somehow just found him or found me. I don't remember how it was. He sold me quick. Love the guy. I'm still friends with him on Facebook. But
Yeah, yeah.
it was so new back then. You couldn't even do estimates, and I didn't know what I was doing. I literally thought it was just a place to put names and phone numbers and emails, right? And an invoice system. And I couldn't afford it. I was paying the $100 a month. He gave me the very basic deal.
Right.
He even set up some of the automations for me, but I wasn't at a point where I needed it. I could
Hmm.
have done everything I was doing on a piece of paper and still been fine.
Right.
So I got rid of it and went to Joist. And then there was a guy here, a local Facebook group called the Contractors Network.
Hmm.
And you paid in, it was $60, $70 a month. And you become featured on his local page. And it was a large growing page. He's a pretty famous guy. And a lot of people I know were using him and getting good referrals. And it came with go high level. So I was like, man, okay, whatever. I didn't, again, I thought he gave me the like basic version because it wasn't set up like the other guys,
Hmm.
you know? So I didn't use it. And then someone in my networking group joined and he's like, hey, I have this AI bot that, and I still use it now. I switched over to him. He's helped me integrate the AI conversation bot, the AI voice recorder, I mean, responder. So I got Amy, my virtual assistant, answering calls for me.
Nice.
And I love it because people are going to adapt or they're not.
Of course.
And when I listen to the voice recordings of Amy talking to someone, and I'm letting y'all know if y'all listen, I do listen. So if y'all are mean to Amy, I know what kind of person y'all are. Okay. But if you're nice to Amy, I'm going to be nice either way, but it at least lets me know, hey, this person doesn't like AI. So we're going to keep away from, you know, some of the automations that are set up and go high
Right.
level. That's all. It just helps me understand.
That's really good, man. That's a really good point. I mean, especially at a time, shoot, right now in business and in service businesses and all that stuff, it's like, some of the we see some like the older school guys are just like, I still like pen and paper and da 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 and all that stuff, and I think that's great. But
No,
man,
man,
these guys that are adopting like AI and doing a lot of automations and stuff, they're on it, man. They're on it.
I got my website set up through there. I had again the same Brave Fierce Digital is who it is.
Hmm.
They set up my website and then they let me. I have full control over it. So
Yeah.
I'm now creating landing pages for my own stuff. I have a instant estimate calculator on my website. All that they've allowed me to take over and utilize my skills from my past job um, to do this.
That's
So
great.
it's
That's
been helpful.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome,
know
man.
a roughneck, no offense, guys, if they had never learned any of these systems and processes and that just wasn't their field. You know, they wouldn't have software background like I do. I enjoy it. I enjoy figuring out, okay, what does this do?
Right.
Hey, Edwin, I messed this up. Do you mind going and fixing this? But they're local guys, no offense to that guy from Missouri, but they know what they're doing and they're in there with the AI. So they're also in the Y level,
Yeah.
you know,
No, it's great
and
that you're adopting that, man. It just probably relieves a little bit of stress on your end. And like you said, you get to go and listen to see who's nice to Amy or not, you know?
I sent out my first text blast ever this morning. I got about 50. I think I sent out about 1,000 and
Hmm.
50 of them replied with unsubscribe, but I got one commercial job out of it already and two residential jobs. So
Boom.
yeah,
That's
first
awesome,
text
man.
blast ever. Cost me a little bit, but
So that's cool that you use just some of your experience that you learned previously, like in the oil field and doing all that stuff. To like, all right, cool. I can just apply a lot of this stuff and be a little bit. You're probably a little bit more involved than what most business owners are, which is great, man. Like that's I'm I feel like I'm kind of the same way. Like I want to know a little bit of everything. I want to
yeah,
know. So
eventually I'd love to hand this over when parts of it a lot when I can give someone that trust, but obviously there's systems that I have to perfect before I can ask
for
someone
sure,
else to do.
for sure. What's
There's
what do you think is your favorite type of job to do?
recurring work.
Nice. So do you
No,
do like any I'm thinking like when I'm thinking reoccurring work, I'm thinking like do you do any restaurant stuff? Are you
no, not like that work.
okay?
Uh, there's a there's a community over in the Cypress area. It is gated community. Every house is a custom 6,000 square foot home. Everyone has a pool of some sort or patio. Everyone has a different facade, everything. So I've I have four houses that I clean on a regular basis. That's quarterly. So once a year, wash their home. 4 times a year, do their windows. Anything they want done in between. Right? It comes at a discount price. First, they're paying a monthly like for the windows. And then everything else comes at a huge discount.
Yeah,
What that does is I know that they care about their stuff,
for
right? I
sure.
know that they know I'm going to take care of their stuff as well. And it creates a connection, right? Someone I know, and I'm taking care of their home. It's not like recurring work on a building
Hmm.
where it's just a property manager that is checking off check boxes, which again, please let me help you take those check boxes and check them off. But for the homeowners, that's what I would love to do.
Yeah,
I
that's the
could
ones you
put
love.
my
And shoot, it sounds like you only have there's a lot of room for growth in that neighborhood then.
well, no, there's only about 20 homes. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's a very niche. So yeah, give me the rest of them.
Well, I think the cool thing is too is you can that's on the resume, right? You're like, well, I
Yeah,
take care of the houses over in this neighborhood. And then
yeah,
somebody's like, oh, really? Well, perfect. Why don't you come over and I'll introduce you to some neighbors or whatever, And I think
I'll
you're
tell you
smart.
how that one started too. That neighborhood, I was doing a church parking lot for free in when I first started. And the first house I got there, I was just 3 days into this parking lot with my little old machine, struggling. And I got a call from the first guy. I'll just call him R. And he's like, "Hey, how much to come do my pool deck?" I was like, "Man, if I got it's about 350." He's like, "Come on." So I drive all the way out to Cypress, which is 45 minutes from where I'm at. Houston, if you don't know, I mean that's a normal drive, right?
Hmm.
And he's like, "Man, are you sure 350 is the best you can do?" He's like, "What if I did it monthly?" I was like, "Well, we'll work about 300." And then he's like, "Well, what about every 2 weeks?" Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir. We
sir.
we made some deals, and it blossomed from there.
And that's
We
all
built
from you doing the church parking lot for free.
and I feel it's fate. I mean, why else?
Yeah, I love it.
It's not like he knew that I was doing it for free. It's just
Right.
it happened. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's the way it
how
happened.
that
You were doing something really good,
happened.
and
Like to think that.
something came out about it, which is great, man. Like that's really cool. That's a
And
cool
then
part of the
after, I
story.
was there every 2 weeks, someone else saw me, and the neighbor across the street was getting the house built. And I tried to hit him up every time I saw him. Oh man, no, no, we're not gonna get windows clean. But last year he was getting his Christmas lights put on. I was like, man, he's in a holiday spirit, right? And I went up to him and I was like, man, so are you interested? And this is when I first started the idea of the monthly plan.
Hmm.
Like, look, $99 a month, and we'll come do your windows 3 times or 4 times a year. He's like, well, no, no. Before that, I was like, man, we got a quarterly, bi-monthly, and he's like, just do them quarterly. I was like, cool. Do you want to get on a contract? He's like, just put it on there. The windows ain't going nowhere. So yeah, that's how that and just kind of built from there.
Man, that's really cool. What do you think something that most customers don't understand about your job?
For every hour that I'm there at their home, I've put in 2 hours of waking up at 4 in the morning to think about something, and then for every job I've got, it's 2 or 3 jobs that I didn't get. And I spent just as much time in the beginning putting in the estimates and looking at the houses and countless hours training and learning before that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I might finish that driveway in an hour if it's a small driveway, but
But you put some serious hours into learning how to do it correctly.
it's
Like you
not like
said,
a kid that
you,
just got a went and rented a pressure washer that can't rent my pressure washer. You know,
right. Yeah,
you can, but there's guys that rent them for 500 a day. So you go and pick up the trailer and you go make some big bucks.
for sure.
You know, so that's the difference. I think that most when homeowners are like, well, 200 for a driveway, like, shit, I don't even want to do that. And it's not because it's because they see other kids charging 60, 100, and I get it. I get it when it's just a driveway. But when as much as we do in it, and we are not paying to really, yeah, obviously they're paying for cleaning, but in my mind, they're also paying for protection of their home. If we're washing their home, that's the most valuable asset most of the time. And if you're gonna allow kids to throw whatever chemicals on there and potentially pressure wash, like when they think you're pressure washing, they're not soft washing, damage that paint or your windows, or whatever the case may be.
For
It's
sure.
not rocket science, I know.
Yeah, but you had to learn that at some point because I'm sure there
Yeah,
was some mishaps, early on and all that stuff. You're
there
like,
was, there
there's a
was.
lot of experience of like, hey, I know not to get too close to your house to completely blow the paint off or whatever it is.
We're doing something. We should do soft wash, right, on most homes,
Hmm.
which is spray a chemical on there with diluted chemical. You let it sit. You're eating the grime and the organic stuff away, and it helps break away the dirt. And after that, you rinse it off again with low pressure and high volume, right? So
Yes.
there shouldn't be any pressure on homes,
Yeah, it's
right?
good.
But
If you guys are listening to this and you're starting a pressure washer business, you hear that, okay? No pressure on homes, all right?
no pressure.
Oh man. So kind of switching a little bit, your mission was kind of to spend more time with your kids. How is this business kind of allowed for that?
Whew. Any business owner could tell you it's not that. There's so much work that has to get put in on the front end. That my kids, when my kids were kids and I was oil field, it was when I was home, it was like a long weekend or a vacation. So I got that all that time. you know.
Right.
And then now my son's older and he will not even, he's not here tonight. And Dad, you work more now. You're always on the phone. You're always this. Now, so I've had to work on it. Before I didn't have to. When I was home, my phone was off. I'd answer a couple emails if I needed to, but nah. So how has it helped though? I'm there for the important things, I think. Whereas in before, when I first started in the field, no, and actually went, I said, "Are you sure you want this? There ain't no holidays or birthdays in the field." And so now I can be home for those things no matter what.
That's good, man. Yeah, that's it's tough being an entrepreneur. It is, man. It totally is. It's I think sometimes still people think that, oh, well, you get to control your schedule. It's like to a certain point, right? Like the cool thing is you can show up to the birthdays, you can show up to the events now and all that stuff. Before, like you said, man, it's you're when you're dedicated to going to across the world, you're like, guys, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be gone. You know what I mean? Like that's just part of it. So I think that's really cool that even though you work really hard and you're busy a lot, you're still building something, man. And it sounds like you're really just getting started, which is it's fun to hear. You know, you don't want to. You're like, okay, cool, things are okay, but how can we make this even better, right? And like you said, eventually either pass it down or sell it or whatever it is. You know, that's and I think, dude, my opinion, and just knowing you in a very short period of time, you're setting a good example. You know, you're setting a good example of what hard work is. Probably a lot of the younger generation, I don't know. Some of them know about hard work. Maybe some of them don't. Maybe they're listening to this going, yeah, I'm not working hard enough. And if that's what you're thinking, you're probably right.
I don't feel like I'm working hard enough. I mean, I don't feel like I'm working hard, to be
Yep.
honest. So, because I know me at 25, you wouldn't see me here. I'd still be out working. I'd find ways. I'd do this because I have worked those long hours and those hard hours.
Yeah.
And someone told me today that the pressure washing in general is one of the most satisfying jobs ever. And I don't know about that, but I'm definitely not out there racking my brain in the middle of the night trying to figure out why this doesn't have power. You know, driving home at 2, 3 in the morning from a late night of working. I'm home in bed.
For sure.
The hardest stress now is whether some jobs are going to go through or not. You know,
Yeah. Now you talk about even your values, right? Integrity, professionalism, commitment. Like where does all that stuff come from?
those aren't mine. I take those values from a networking group that I'm part of.
Nice.
It's the net level up networking. What it is, we're a group of entrepreneurs that uphold these values. And we're all about collaboration over competition, right? It's it's formal but informal, right? There's 11 teams, each one has a leadership, and we meet twice a month. As a group, and then we have a minimum of two one-on-ones, which is two meetings with somebody to get to know them, get to know their business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the very basics of it, but we each have a different role. Like I'm a pressure washer, so I'm gonna be a plumber, right? And you can't have another plumber in there. You can't have another pressure washer.
Right.
But the difference between our networking group and any of the other ones that I know of is all 11 teams coexist, right? Like we'll go support other teams and they'll come to ours. But, and then as a large organization, we have get-togethers and raise money for nonprofits. We just had something called 200 Businesses That Care, where 200 business owners each donated $100 for this event. And, they had table sponsors and everything, but the $20,000 was given to four different nonprofits.
Very
So it was a
cool.
big gala event at a local restaurant. And so that's where I get those
Yeah,
values from.
that's great. And do you think that, I mean, obviously it's got to be you guys are bouncing off business off each other left and right, and you decided to, is this the one that you stepped up to decide to be a president of?
So yeah, I am the president of two groups right now, but
Nice.
technically I'm just transitioning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been
Do you
the
think that
president
plays
for
a
this.
do you think that plays a big role as far as just having you in that leadership role, like as far as people really liking and trusting you and sending you business and being confident?
No, I mean it helps with my visibility. I'll
Hmm.
tell you that.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know how it helps my business because everyone in there is just as important. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It just gives me a more of a stage, I
Of
think,
course.
but it does give me room to shine,
And you get to work on your public speaking.
and to work on my public speaking. So yeah, when I got tapped on the shoulder to be the president, it was only, I got voluntold kind of is what I feel.
Nice.
But the president was stepping down midterm, and the the main president was like, "Hey, what about you?" I was like, "Me? I don't do anything. I'm not really a leader per se. I've done some cool stuff, but I'm not a leader. And they're like, Rudy, you go to every meeting, you go to the events, and you do stuff. I was like, yeah, but I like hanging out with y'all. And sat there for about an hour thinking about it. We were at a different meeting, and I was like, you know what? I'll do it. I guess so. Whatever. What have I got to lose? You know,
Yeah.
and I was not great at public speaking. I wasn't great at any. I was nervous, the whole thing. But as time went on, having the right people supporting you and pushing you to do better. That's where the community, we went from three teams at that time to now we're 11 teams. And about 3 months ago, the president of this entire group tapped me on the shoulder again. Because about a year ago, I came to her, I was like, hey, what about starting a Duolingo, like a bilingual group? She's like, yeah, spring is 40%. I looked up the statistics, spring is 40% Latino, the Woodlands is 30, Conroe was 35, and and she's like, okay, let's table that. So she brought that up again, but it just didn't work out. But this other team closer to home is what came out of that.
Nice.
And it's just a different group of people, new scenery, new change. That team has blossomed to, we're not even an official team yet. And it's not all me, again, but surrounding yourself with the right people
Of
that,
course.
that are tired of maintaining has
Yep.
grown. We're 17 people strong, 19 now, and we're not even an official team yet. So in a month and a half, we've grown tremendously.
That's great.
Month.
So you talk quite a bit about communication, like how obviously you have and let me ask you this. How many, do you have any guys that work that work for you? Do you have any employees or is it
Yeah.
just you by yourself or
It's me and one guy right now, but
hmm
whenever I have larger projects, again, we're collaboration over competition. I'll bring in other pressure washers or some jobs that are just not my forte. And I just ask like, hey, do this roof job. I'm not gonna go way out there. I don't do these roofs. And vice versa. There's one guy that he's gotten so amazing. He doesn't do residential. He pays too much insurance for insurance to do residential jobs. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, Rudy, do you want them? Like, yes, sir.
Yes,
Of
sir.
course
I'll
I
take
do.
it.
And this is a kid. I call him sir because he's where I want to be,
Mm-hmm.
with 6 employees and 3 trucks and you know, but
Where do you think most, where does most of your business come from? Is it obviously your networking madman, it sounds like, which is killer. Where do you think, outside of that, where do you think most of your business comes from?
Google,
Google.
Google.
So you think having a
I
good setup Google business profile is the,
I do not. A year,
you don't?
2 years ago, I paid someone to set up my Google, and I paid him monthly for a year. It's like 250,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe 200. Very basic, and he got me some property managers that have just kept using me, and the hotel jobs. So they've just been paying continuously ever since, just on those. And obviously, every once in a while, I'll get some hits for commercial. Now, those are my most profitable as far as smaller jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more than 50% of my income, but the work, more of my work is residential, right?
Yeah,
Like day to day physical labor work.
for sure.
Right? It's just it's not going to say no. I'm still paying less enough in insurance that I'll take some residential.
Of course. How many jobs do you think you do on an average? Let's just say on an average week. I know that's a pretty broad question because some can take longer than others and all that jazz, but what do you think?
Not it's not what you think. I want you to guess.
Oh man, I would say you do. I mean, it's got to be like 5 to 10,
2 to 4.
2 to 4.
2 to 4.
But you're out here hustling, looking for more.
I need to be,
Yeah.
because like I've recently started going out looking for more, but I've been doing a lot of sitting here at the computer looking for more or networking looking for more.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I'm going out to network, but I'm trying to hire a commission-based sales rep for
Yeah.
commercial only, with a larger percentage. And I've had a lot of people interested, and that was just last week, so I'm kind of in the beginning stages.
Nice.
I had one before, and he got me some good work, and then he just didn't want to do it anymore. So I
Yep.
was like, I got enough work. I'm not going to pursue it again.
Right.
Again, we're maintaining.
Yeah. Well, I think you're like, it's most of us entrepreneur. I mean, most of us we all go through this, you know what I mean? And it could be at any, I guess, any stage in a business, like, okay, cool. We need to be doing more, and it's a constant battle. Do you agree? Like, it's a constant
Yeah,
battle. Like, man, I got to get
I'm
out there
doing
and
more.
turn
No,
this up.
I'm worked hard enough. No, I'm good. Yeah.
Uh, so you talk about, not living in the past. Like, what does that mean to you now?
How far back we going? See, what year is it? 2005.
It's too.
All right. December 5th of 2005, I got released from the Texas Department of Criminal Justice,
There we go.
after a year, a little old year for some marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I started a temp service and started in the oil field company that I worked at,
Mm-hmm.
like 2 months out of prison. They still shitting state food, right?
Yep.
And I told myself, I knew I was smarter than them. Those people in there couldn't read, couldn't do basic math. I graduated in the top 10% of my class. Not to brag or nothing, but I was a little smarter than the average bear.
Right.
And just made some dumb choices, and so I was always fighting to stay away from that image. You know what I mean? Like
Of course.
for me, that was the old me. Look at me, I'm doing good now. So not living in the past, man. There's so much I've done since then. You know, my father, my stepfather lost a child. He, been all over the world, and back again. I made it.
Yeah.
But you're always fighting that image of on paper. If you look me up, it's there. Ain't no hiding that big felony for some marijuana, which is now legal.
Right.
Whatever.
Which is
We ain't gonna go
crazy. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you sharing that with us, man. I mean, really, I think, I've heard this time and time over is everybody's done something bad, just not everybody's gotten caught. And I think we all, I think for everybody, really just for everybody listening, man, we've all made dumb decisions. You know what I mean? And we've paid for our decisions one way or the other, whether you did time or something, whatever it is, you've paid for it. And I think that just helps us grow and helps us, kind of stay accountable. It sounds like you're like, dude, I'm on the right path. I never wanted to do, I'm never going to put myself in that position again. Like I'm full steam ahead.
It ain't no place. You know what I mean? I read a lot of books. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was hot. I mean,
What's
that's uh,
oh, I was gonna say, what's like one piece of advice you give to, just anybody listening? I mean,
everything that you think you're going through, right, is hard. Sit here and worry about it, and think about life and how, man, this, I'm all right. How many millions of other people in this world, when you're driving around, look at them, they're all going through the same crap. They've all had something happen in their life that, that they think the same thing. Like, and nobody knows this and that. We all been going through it. It's just really how you adapt to it and how you change. You know, do you let it affect you or do you just keep going on?
yeah, so you think really I like that a lot, dude. I mean, I hear you. Like I've gone through tough times myself. It's part of the
One
game.
is.
And it's how it's like you said, it's and it's how you deal with it and we gotta make the best decisions we can going forward, and leave that old life behind and I mean, keep pushing forward, right? What do you think? What's something you wish you would have learned earlier?
Uh, Investing. 20 years ago, or something like that.
Yep.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
No, no,
Right.
no. Probably not Bitcoin. But yeah, a little more investing. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I mean, that goes for all of you guys. I mean, if you're young, you gotta save your money. We've all we've all been there. We
Yeah,
got
no.
save your
Saving
money,
money
y'all.
and don't spend. I remember when I first went out to the field, I wish I would have listened to him. He said, "Man, you've been working 40 hours a week for so long. It's like, can you survive off that?" I'm like, yeah. It's like save your overtime because we were making overtime. There's 120-hour weeks, and
Wow.
imagine if so that's 80 hours of overtime. If I'd have saved that, I wouldn't be pressure washing the damn thing, right?
You guys
you know,
save your
uh,
money, okay? That goes for
Save your
all of
money.
us. We can all
Save your overtime. If you're working overtime, save your overtime.
save your
And
overtime.
then when you have that beach house in Mexico invite, you said, Rudy told me.
Rudy told me that's right. Man, so kind of. kind of wrapping up, like, hey, what's next for your company, man? Like, what's your goals and dreams right now? Like, kind of what's your vision? Like, tell me a little bit about that.
Right now, but I'm designing a like an instrumentation monitoring system for pressure washing systems that basically the same thing I did in the oil field.
Ooh,
That me, if I'm sitting here and I have 10 trucks out there, I can tell where they are, what they're doing. I can run reports at the end of the day that he did this job at this day. I can tell whether he's doing a driveway or surface cleaner, and also monitor the pressure washer itself. So as
nice.
it's, I'm at the very beginning stages. I think I'm a
Dude, that's great
genius.
though. You're taking just what you've learned over a long time, man. I mean, like, all right, we got the pressure washing thing down. Now let's see how we can really figure some cool things out, which is cool, man. That's exciting. Like, dude, I totally wish you the best. Like, obviously you know how to work hard. You know how to you know how to do some things and you're figuring things out, right? And that's what most of us entrepreneurs are, man. We're constantly figuring things out. Like, hey, how can we make things better? Or what can we develop? Or, like you said, how can I monitor all this stuff? Which is huge. So as we kind of wrap up, Mr. Rudy, where can people where can people follow you? Like, tell us and I'm going to put your stuff in the down below. But if they want to get in touch with you, man, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, it starts the website, rcpressurewashingtx.com, which is same as the TikTok, same as Instagram, Facebook. They got the threads. Uh, I don't do Twitter, formerly known as X, or vice versa.
Right, right, right.
But yeah, RC Pressure Washing TX for commercial jobs or residential. You can reach Amy, my virtual AI assistant, at 281-909-3406. Or you can reach me directly at 1-877-754-9274.
Awesome. Hey, if you guys call and talk to Amy, you guys be nice to her, okay?
Be
She
nice.
sounds she sounds like a nice gal, okay? She's gonna get you taken care of. But hey guys, first off, I want to thank you, Rudy. I really appreciate you sharing some stories with us and really just kind of how you got started, man. I have no doubt, like, hey, when we bring you back on a year, things are gonna be even better. So, guys, this is why we do Savage Systems podcast. Real stories, real lessons. It's straight from the field. Like you guys are hearing this straight from the field. And Rudy, I sure do appreciate you. And you guys make sure go show some love to Rudy. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks again, Rudy.
Thanks.